2, 1, go. Hello everyone, this is Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Thursday night college basketball action, the Pac-12 Conference. We have the Oregon State Beavers versus the UCLA Bruins at Pauley Pavilion. The Bruins opened up as 15-point home favorites. That number has dropped down slightly by a half point to 14.5, while the total has made an upward movement from 152 to 153 in the betting market as I tape this early Thursday morning in Las Vegas. When looking at the Oregon State Beavers, this is their first true road game since December 12th. They did travel to Las Vegas and play a neutral court game from that span until today, but this is their first true road game since December 12th, and they've lost their last 3 games. That includes a 80-70 setback to the University of Arizona as 11-point home underdogs on Saturday. That snapped an 0-5 against the spread streak in that particular game, but Oregon State was down by 17-18 in the last 5 minutes of that second half before rallying to get the cover. They have played short-handed recently. They lost center Angus Brandt earlier in the year, in late November, and they also are playing without 2 players, including a key player in Eric Moreland. In the last game they were without him, and they're also going to be without him here, serving a 2-game suspension for team rules or university rules, whatever the case may be. He averages a double-double. Those 2 players being out of the lineup have accounted for 19.6 rebounds per game when playing on the court. So I think Oregon State's going to have a lot of trouble getting any offensive boards. So they're going to have to be really on target offensively, and on defense, they're going to struggle against one of the better offensive teams in the Pac-12. 4 players in the starting lineup for Oregon State do manage to average double figures in scoring, so they are still a dangerous offensive team. When looking at the Bruins, everything has gone right since this team's really come together. Everybody figured it would take some time for this team to really come together as a group, having one of the better recruiting classes in the entire nation coming in. They have done just that, winning 9 straight. They swept last week's road trip against the Utah Utes and Colorado Buffaloes. To some, that may not be very impressive, but that's the first time since those 2 teams have joined the Pac-12 Conference. Of course, it was only last year, but the first time that an opponent out of the Pac-12 has swept that series. So that is a very key thing to handicap here. I don't think that they're going to really look past this game. They did drop an 87-84 contest to the Oregon State Beavers last year as 2-point road underdogs. Ben Howland is 15-4 straight up in this series. And when you look at the domination of this series, of course you have one of the more historic programs in the nation against one of the mid-level Pac-12 teams. The Bruins have won 8 straight at Pauley Pavilion over the Beavers. I'm going to look to lay the points here. The Beavers are 1-33 straight up in their last 34 games against ranked opponents. And yes, the Bruins were ranked at the beginning of the year. They fell out of the rankings, and now they're back in. This team is a bona fide top 25 team. I think Jordan Adams and Shabazz Muhammad, the combination of them is going to be too much for Oregon State to handle defensively. And underneath the basket in the paint, Kyle Anderson and Travis Ware should take care of business without the likes of Brandt and Moreland to contend for any rebounds, especially on the offensive end. UCLA is going to have a lot of second chance opportunities. Let's pick the UCLA Bruins minus 14.5 over the Oregon State Beavers on Thursday night. This has been Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. For any information on this game or any other on the college basketball board, you can follow me on Twitter at Jeff Grant Sports. Cut.